Hello, Kendall Schuler students. Today we'll be doing the clipper over comb technique. The tools that you will need for today's technique will be your clippers, your clipper comb, your standard cutting comb, as well as your angled barber comb, or you may refer to it as a taper comb. We'll need your shears, as well as a water bottle to help control the hair in our top horseshoe section. For today's clipper over comb technique, we'll be using a basic horseshoe section. Let's get started. We're going to start off our clipper over comb technique with our clipper comb and our clippers in a closed position. We'll start on our dominant side, so let's begin. We're going to insert our comb at the sideburn area. All the hair that extends beyond the teeth of the comb, you will remove that hair with the clipper in a vertical up motion. We will continue to work in vertical sections around the ear area. Inserting our comb at a horizontal above the earlobe will remove the hair that extends beyond the teeth of the comb. We're going to work up in vertical sections until we reach the bottom of our horseshoe-shaped section. Inserting the comb again at a horizontal, folding or pushing the ear forward. The comb will go against the scalp. Hold the comb in a horizontal position with the comb resting against the scalp, and again remove all the hair that extends beyond the teeth of the comb. We're going to work in vertical sections until we reach the bottom of the horseshoe section. Once you complete the section above the ear, start in the bottom of the nape line with your clipper over comb. Make sure your body is directly in front of the section you're cutting. Starting at the bottom of the nape line, comb is inserted in a horizontal position. Teeth are upright. Clipper glides across the comb, removing the hair that extends out of the teeth of the comb. Your guide will be the previously cut hair as you work up in vertical sections. Again, starting back at the bottom of the nape line, once you complete that vertical section, start back at the bottom of the nape line next to the section you just completed. Ensure your clippers do not ride above the width of your comb. Ensure your clippers do not ride above the width of your comb. Ensure you have good control of your clipper comb as well as your clipper as you work up your vertical sections around the back and sides. Remember, the previously cut hair is your guide, as well as your clipper as you work up your vertical sections around the back and sides. Remember, that hair is your guide, as well as you work up your vertical sections around the back and sides. Ensure your comb is staying upright. The teeth of your comb should be pointing towards the ceiling as you work up the back of the head. Ensure your comb is staying upright. The teeth of your comb as we come to the area behind the ear, you may have to insert your comb at a slight diagonal. But remember, your previously cut hair is your guide. So pull your comb out to meet that guide. Use your clipper across the comb and remove the hair. Connect to your guide on top of the earlobe. Hair is your guide. So that guide, use your clipper across the comb and remove the hair. Before proceeding to the top, go back and cross-check the back and sides with your clipper over comb work. If there's any areas that need to be refined, please do so. Come back and work in vertical sections with your clipper over comb technique. Look for any areas that may look a little uneven. You can also go back and blend out any clipper lines or clipper marks left from using your clipper over comb technique. Look for any areas that may look a little uneven. You can also go back and blend out any clipper lines or clipper marks left from using your. Remember, when cross-checking, always start back at your starting point. If you're working or refining a section in the back of the head, start back in the bottom of the nape line and work your way back up to the area that needs refining. That way you can keep a consistent cut. If you're working or refining a section in the back of the head, start back in the bottom of the nape line and work your way back up to the area that needs refining. Now we're ready to transition to our top. We're going to start by creating our 3 sections with our center parting to the apex and then from the apex to the tip of the ear, creating our 3 sections. Starting from the center front hairline, we're going to make a center parting to the top of the head, or the apex, the highest area, the highest point on the head. That center parting will separate your right side from your left side. Then we'll make a parting again from the apex to the tip of the ear. We have section 1, section 2, and section 3. Now, if your dominant side is your left side, you have section 1 will be your left side, your dominant side, section 2, your back crown, and section 3, the right side. We're going to start our connection working on our dominant side above the ear. For this connection, we'll be using vertical sections. Again, starting on our dominant side above the ear, working our way to the front hairline to complete section 1. So working in small vertical partings, no wider than your finger, create a vertical section, and you are going to connect to the hair that lives below your basic horseshoe. This would also be where your clipper work stopped. Your finger position will be a diagonal. So the short hair that lives below the horseshoe parting will be your guide. Make sure you grab a small piece of that guide to follow. Your finger angle should be a slight diagonal. Elbow up, fingers pointing down. Ensure you can see your guide. And using your shear, we're going to do a solid cut to connect to our top. Vertical parting. Ensuring we have some guide to follow. Elbow up, fingers pointing down to create our slight diagonal line with our finger position. And remove the hair. Vertical parting. We grab our guide. Elbow up. And connect. Our last section here. Again, our guide. Elbow up. Diagonal finger angle. We're going to continue our vertical partings with our diagonal finger angle into section 2, the back crown. I push the hair to see my guide, previously cut hair, and again my guide at the bottom from our bottom of our horseshoe shaped section. We're going to continue to work in our pie-shaped vertical partings all the way around the back crown area. I see my guide. I also see my guide at the bottom. I'm going to slide my fingers out, ensure my elbow is up, and connect. Once I find my guide, again, I pull my fingers out to it. I see my guides. We've now worked our way to the opposite side of the head. We're going to continue our vertical sections in section 3. Vertical section, diagonal finger angle, elbow up. I find my guide here. For this technique, remember there's no over direction. We're pulling the hair out in the same direction that it grows. For this technique, remember now for our very top, we're going to work with horizontal side to side sections, removing the center point. We're going to start our side to side sections at the top of the head, right at the apex, not at the back crown. Right in the top at the apex. Horizontal parting. Working from side to side, we're going to remove that center point in the very top. We're going to continue horizontal partings from side to side, working up to front hairline. Removing again only the center point. The very top. We're going to continue horizontal partings from side to side, working up to front hairline. Removing again only the center point. Now, for our final cut, we'll do a low taper using our barber comb and shear over comb technique. Your barber comb will be that angled comb. We will use the smaller angled side of the comb with the closer teeth for our low taper technique, shear over comb. Of course, we will start this technique on our dominant side. So again, for our right-handed people, our dominant side will be our right side. For our left-handed people, your dominant side will be the left. We'll start on our dominant side in the sideburn area, keeping a low taper around the earlobe and back nape area. Inserting the comb in a vertical position with shear over comb, we're going to slightly just create a low taper in the bottom area of the sideburn and again on top of the earlobe. Ensure your taper doesn't go too high. Remember, it's a low taper. Once you've completed the area above the ear, we're going to start our low taper technique in the bottom of the nape line area, working around the back of the ear and the bottom of the neck. Once you've completed the area above the ear, we're going to start our low taper technique in the bottom of the nape line area, working around the back of the ear. Remember to push the ear forward to insert your comb. Connect to the low taper above the ear. We're going to start our low taper technique in the bottom of the nape line area, working around the back of the ear. Remember to push the. We're going to complete this detail all the way around the head in our low taper shear over comb with our barbering comb. You can also use this time to go back and refine any areas with your shear over comb technique. Remember to push the. We're going to complete this detail all the way around the head in our low taper shear over comb with our barbering comb. You can also use this back and refine any areas with your shear over comb technique. Remember to push the. We're going to complete this detail all the way around the head in our low taper shear over comb with our barbering comb. You can also use this time to go back with your shear over comb technique. Remember to push the. Take a look at your final finished cut. Again, go back and refine any areas with your shear over comb technique that you see need to be refined.